Alrighty. Howdy, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. My name is Chronotix,
And I'm Stoic, and this is the Community Chat Show.
your one-stop shop for all the latest in the CCS community. Speaking of which, today we actually have a special announcement. CCS is going to be hosting a new event, the CCS Tiny Tourney 2 Maximum Franken Squad. This will be on Saturday, April 24th at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. We're going to be cast by the wonderful Jazleen and Bankai, and it's going to be a charity event. There's going to be a charity link posted once all the details are finalized in the CCS Discord server, and make sure to come hang out and check us out.
We'll announce this again at the end, but we're excited to have our guest here today. The most requested guest we've had on the show so far. We have with us is Summer, the healer for Car Crash Sounds, which is CCS 7. Welcome to the show. We're glad you're here, Summer. Tell us about yourself.
Thank you. My name is Summer. What do you want to know? I don't know. What do you want to know?
Whatever you want.
So it's moving behind me.
No, I'm moving my chair. I'm going to keep switching. Sorry, we're doing some live production.
Let's start with how you came to find Heroes of the Storm.
Oh gosh. Okay, so I'm not super familiar with a lot of games. I haven't played a lot of games really at all. When I was growing up, my brother played games and I got to play like some of them. So, Super Smash, only Kirby. Only, ever, forever. Kirby for life. And then I would get to play every so often. We'd play like Mario Party, and that was like the extent of my gaming. Oh, and what's it called? Capture the Flag, James Bond. That was it. Like very, very diverse gaming experience. So I didn't really play any games on the PC or anything. And then when I met Stoic, I didn't really know that he was that into gaming. He was more like, games? What? So we'd been married for like a little while, I think, and we played. I got really, really into Breath of the Wild. He said, you have to play it first,
No, I didn't say that.
Well, you wanted me to play it first.
I wanted you to play. I didn't want you to play it as much as you did.
You're interrupting my story.
My fault.
So anyways, he had me play it first. I played it for, Hydra's playing right now. It's so good. So, I played it like for hours and hours and hours. Like, I don't even know. I still haven't beat the game because I just felt like that was unfair to the game. So I played it for a really long time. And then after that, at some point, Stoic introduced me to HOTS. Only like 2 years ago, maybe, or 3 years ago. And I played a couple games, and I thought it was pretty fun, so I just kept playing. Yeah, I can further elaborate on HOTS if you'd like.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I'm sure we'll get there. Stoic, you look like you got something.
Well, I mean, there's just there's more to the story. Like, you got to keep going.
Okay, I'll keep going. So I started playing HOTS, and I got really into it, and I only played Stitches, because I just loved him. And then I started playing Butcher, because I was like, oh, this is where it's at. Like, collect meats. Like, I love things where you collect. So, Breath of the Wild, I, like, spent so much time collecting the rare ore deposits. On my Sheikah slate, I would, like, plug it in and collect rare ore deposits. So, I like the things where you're, like, collecting. So, I liked Butcher, I feel like, because I got to collect meat. And so I played Butcher, like, all the time. And then some game, like, these people totally, like, flamed me and were like, you suck, you should kill yourself, like, uninstall the game, like, this kid doesn't know how to play, like, so rude. And I, like, was crying. I'm like, this is the rudest thing because I've never played games. I don't know toxic gaming environment. So I'm, like, sitting here, like, crying because these people are telling me to uninstall the game. So I literally told Stoic, I'm like, I'm not playing again. That's just it. I don't like toxic things. Like, I feel like if you play with me or if you know me, like, I try to keep it very positive. And so I was like, I'm quitting the game. And he was like, you're not going to quit the game. And I did. I quit the game for like 9 months, I think. And I was like, I'm never going back to this trash game ever, ever, ever. And then eventually I finally did. I can't remember why. Maybe because Stoic was getting more into like the competitive scene. And so I was like, okay. He's like, I know these nice people. You can come back and play. So then I started playing again. But truly, I didn't play Butcher after that, even when I came back for like a long time.
I think like you coming back was like in like mid 2019. Like I think like you came back and then then I started to get more serious because I think it was when we played with Cameron and Rachel. Remember?
Yeah, we like played with some of our friends, so like we knew the environment would be like non-toxic. And like Stoic's trying to do like he's like you can just like report them and block them and then they can't talk to you anymore. And I'm like, but there's rude people there. I don't want to do it. So, anyways, after all that, I finally came back and started playing again, and then I was hooked. Then I stayed in it since then. So probably for the last like couple of years.
All right. Let me just say that I think that was probably the spiciest intro we've ever had. Holy moly. Okay, so one thing that I kind of noticed, I don't know if there's necessarily any correlation, but you said that you like to play Kirby, and you said that you like to play Stitches, and I can't help but see a parallel there. Is that something that was like intentional? Like, were you like, oh, hey, I can eat people with this character too?
I didn't think about that.
But you're eating
maybe subconsciously. I don't know. That's interesting. I don't even know why I picked Stitches in the first place, to be honest. I liked the hook. I thought it was fun. I don't know.
I'm curious here, like, because I've never asked you this, like if watching HOTS together was something that we did even before you started playing. Like I remember watching Heroes of the Dorm back when we used to live in Utah. Like, did that make any difference on you being interested in the game or playing at all?
No.
Like
This chat, you guys need to calm down. I liked watching it. I don't think it necessarily influenced me to like play more. If anything, I played more because like Stoic was playing more, and so it was a way to like do something together. Like if he's already like having a great time and investing all this time in something, then like it's worth trying for me, because if I like it, then it's an easy way to spend time together.
Yeah, definitely.
So.
well, and now you're better than me at the video game.
Now I'm really good.
So you mentioned you came back in 2019. You weren't playing Butcher anymore. What did you decide to play when you came back and you're playing with your friends?
I decided to play. Well, for a little bit there, I would play like Vala and Li Ming. And then, because I liked building the hatred for Vala. And then I switched to healer. I ended up switching to healer, and I pretty much stayed healing since then. I kind of like how you can like watch everyone else and just like help. If that makes sense, you know, like everyone else is doing the things, but you're kind of a step back, like looking at the whole picture, which I think is kind of why I like healing. Like, I don't think I would switch now to something else, because maybe off lane for the 1v1s. But like, I like kind of like being almost like more, trying to be more of like a bird's eye, where you're kind of managing everyone in front of you, is kind of the way that I see healing. I don't know. I played Morales at the beginning too. When I started healing, I played a ton of Morales. She felt like a real healer. I don't know. I like that she's like a medic. I'm like in the medical field. I don't know. Maybe that influenced my brain. I don't know.
Well, you leveled up like Brightwing to like level 50 before really like branching out into healers. What was it about Brightwing? Or like, was she part of the original like Stitches, Butcher, Brightwing, or did she come in?
No,
after
I think
you came
Brightwing
back?
was later, because I'm pretty sure that Stoic told me Brightwing was too hard. He used to tell me like, oh, that person's too hard. Because, you know, they have like their levels, right? Like medium difficulty, hard. So when I was first playing, he'd be like, that one says hard, so I don't know. And then I remember playing Brightwing because I was like, oh, it says hard, so easy. And now I really like Brightwing. Brightwing's like probably what I'm best on. So, haters make you better, I guess.
So there's something I'm noticing. So, uh, going all the way back, like I mentioned the Kirby and Stitches thing, right? But beyond just eating people, right? Kirby and Smash like has really short moves, requires a lot of thinking and positioning, right? Stitches is kind of the same way. His ability, like his skill shot, his CC is like a really precise skill shot. It requires a lot of positioning and thinking. Do you feel like you kind of lean towards these harder characters as a way to kind of push yourself further? You don't just want to play the Jim Rayners or the, trying to think of it like a Marth who can just forward smash. Like,
Marth. Maybe because my favorite thing to do on Kirby was like fly, stones. What is it? Like be down or whatever.
Down. That's not like hard. Though. He's saying like, are you like micro intensive? That's the.
I know, but like I'm saying, you gotta set up you gotta set up in the clouds and then you gotta drop down. I don't know. To actually answer the question, maybe. Maybe. I don't know. I've never thought this in depth about my choices, but I do like the challenge, I will say. It keeps it exciting.
You mentioned you were in the medical field as well, which is like, I mean, if you had to say like what is the most competitive career path, like it's going to be like medicine, right? Like, do you feel like you're just a very competitive person in general?
Oh yeah. When I was dating Stoic, we used to like play werewolf together, and we would like get so competitive. We would like scream at each other. That's how it all began. But yeah, I'm very competitive, and so I think it definitely translates. Like I hate to lose.
Do you feel like that's kind of well, I guess the next question would be then, you mentioned that you played Vala and Li Ming with your friends. How did that kind of like when did you really get into like taking the game seriously, right? From just playing with friends to like, I'm going to like go super sweaty, try hard, and play on a competitive team?
I think I kind of had, so I was just playing kind of for fun. I never played competitively or on a team or anything for a long time, and that was fine. And when Stoke started playing on a team, I was like, I'm not doing that. No, thank you. It's too much, it's too sweaty. I'm playing this for chill time, like, so I wasn't even thinking about it. And then I met some people that were like really great to play with. And I joined Fruit Boops for a Heroes Lounge. Is that what it's called? Yeah, Heroes Lounge. And it was like very chill. Like we were all people who had never played competitively. We just like got along and like wanted to have a good time. And so we all played together in Heroes Lounge. And they were the greatest, the Fruit Boops. But like once I did that, I was like, I need to win. If I'm gonna play on a team, then like I must win. So then I really liked it. Like I liked being with like a set team that like I became friends with, and it made the game more fun. And so from there, that's kind of what led me to CCS, because Anaressa was kind of one of those people I met from Fruit Boops. And so when she decided to like start a new team, I was like, hi, let me come with you. So that's kind of what led into me like becoming more legit and playing NGS, which is like the first time this is my first season.
I think it's interesting, like, how much did, like, playing with Escoffier and, like, AoE rules, like, how much did that impact your desire to play more coordinated?
I don't think too much. We used to play with, like, some people that were really, really good, and I think it made me, like, play better, but I don't think it necessarily made me feel like, oh, I need to play competitively. I don't know. I don't think I ever would have really done it unless, like, the Fruit Boops were like, hey, look, come join our team. We already have 4 people. Like, come jump in. And I was like, okay, sure. If it's chill, I'll try it. So.
And did you play healer for Fruit Boops as well?
Yep.
Okay. So you mentioned Brightwing and Morales, and there was one other, I forget. Was that kind of like your...
I said Lily, maybe? I don't remember.
Oh, I can't remember. Was that kind of like your main roster, so to speak, or did you kind of like flex your pool a bit to kind of fit the team?
So I'm trying to think of when I like swapped over, because now I'm like, oh no, I play so much Stukov, I play so much Decky. Um, so I don't know when I really swapped. I think I had kind of started to like experiment a little with like different healers, and when I played Fruit Boops, it kind of gave me a chance to like try them out. And now like, and then I have Stoic like, Morales is not the meta. So then I'm like not playing Morales anymore. Or, like Lily is not the meta. So I kind of like toned back on those, and like when I was like I'm gonna be more competitive, like I'm not playing Morales as much, haters, and Lily as much, haters. And then kind of like transition to like what felt like the most impactful, which is like I play way more Stukov now and Deckard. And even like Anna. Still the Brightwing, because thank goodness the meta said Brightwing could stay. But that kind of like trying to be more competitive kind of transitioned me away from like the OGs that I had.
No, that totally makes sense. Do you feel like you've been playing Lily more since the recent changes to her?
Oh, I've been playing Assassin Lily like as much as the people will let me. I haven't played Lily like competitively, like in our NGS matches. You're not gonna see me playing Lily. Rip.
Do you want?
But like I played Lily today, so like I like playing Lily. Also I'm trying to be better at my stutter stepping basic attacks. And so Assassin Lily is like a good way to do that. Would recommend.
Would you want to play Lily? Like, like would you suggest like, oh, I think Lily's the hot here. Like she solo support Lily is the way to win this game.
Is solo support Lily the hot? No. I don't think so. But if the team makes a mistake of choosing like two people you can blind, then yeah, maybe Lily's the hot. Like Lily, I feel like is situational. In an actual competitive game, I don't think I could get away with like Assassin Lily as much. I would have to be like really creating a comp that worked with what I was gonna do. So, I don't know. I never tried it though, so I don't know. Maybe it was the hot, and I missed it.
So I I can't help but notice. I know I sound like a broken record at this point, but like it kind of, I'm getting some vibes. Like I know that obviously you two are married, right? Your competitiveness and Stoic seems very detail oriented from what I've noticed. Do you guys feel like that kind of complements each other when you're playing together? Like, or
That's not where I thought you were gonna go. Interesting.
I don't know. Maybe.
like as somebody who takes who like wants to win so hard, do you enjoy playing with people as detail oriented as Stoic?
Sometimes, to be honest, I doubt his skills. Sometimes, like, he chooses certain people, and I'm like,
Garage?
But I
When was
think.
the last time I let you down?
Listen.
I don't know. It's a good question. It's a good question for the show. In a match, when was the last time I let you down? And I want to know. I'm actually curious. And then we can go back to Corinne's question.
This is not the Stoic show.
Sorry.
The last time, no, to answer that question, like, I think it does complement, like, I think we play pretty well together, to be honest, and it's nice that he's, like, playing damage, so then it's like, okay, I'll just keep you alive, and, like, I'll get us to get to this person and get a kill, so I think it does complement. He's definitely, I think, better at the macro and, like, doing all the things than I am, so it definitely helps. I kind of want to clip that. But I don't know. We used to, speaking of toxic, we used to get, like, I used to get so mad at him. Speaking of toxic, Stoke is the king of toxic. No, I used to get super mad at him because sometimes he gets so tilted. If he plays with random people, this is not the Stoke show, but I just have to add this. He gets so tilted. If he plays with random people, he'll, like, get so angry. He'll, like, start flaming them. And that's, like, where I draw the line, right? Because I had all these people flame me. And so then that's the only point I think in HOTS where we like get kind of like we butt heads with each other is like if he gets tilted and is like ready to flame people, I'm like, but what if they were just trying for the first time? Like, what if they're just like me? And like,
I only get tilted when they are flaming first.
Okay,
That's when I lose.
Whatever. But he does get tilted, and so that is the only time I would. Otherwise, I feel like we're pretty synergistic in HOTS. But when he gets angry at someone, I don't usually, and so then we have to develop strategies like the NT. That was a coping strategy.
Well, that's interesting, right? Because it like everything you've said so far has been like, you take the game super duper seriously. How do you kind of balance that? Like, how do you take the game that seriously without getting tilted?
Good question. So I would say like my personality is not really one to get super tilted. And even when I feel like I'm like tilted, I don't think it's the same as other people's tilted. It's like, okay, I'm gonna go binge Netflix and move on. So I don't know. I don't feel like I get super level 12 tilted. So it's just like not my vibe. I try and keep it chill. I have enough of my other emotions. I can't let the video game give me more. To be honest. Could I handle it? I don't know if that answered your question, but
No, I totally get it. Yeah, Netflix is a viable stress reliever. Do you? I feel like I'm talking too much, Stoic. If you've got,
he's like not talking.
Well,
he like thinks because like I'm in the captain's chair today, like he's not.
I've asked some questions. You literally just shut me down.
Okay, let's hear
Let's hear. You said that like we go well together, and I'm curious. Like you were flaming my pool. When is a time that we've played that I've let you down?
Oh my god!
When you said Garrosh, and Garrosh was not the pick, or I couldn't do well enough to make it happen.
So see, here's the difference.
Why is everyone coming at me? It's a good question. You're out here making these accusations.
Look, this is not the Stoic show. Thank you.
All right, Craig, back to you. Craig, you can ask the questions, I guess. Like, I don't know what I can do.
I'm sorry for bringing it up. Okay, so you played for Fruit Boops, and then you said Anaressa was with you on Fruit Boops.
Mm-hmm. Well, like kind of. I think Anaressa joined like another, like the Queens or something, but was there as like a sub. But yeah, that's how we met.
Okay, and then tell us like how it was like when you first joined CCS.
So when I first, it was like from the beginning, it was like me and Anaressa. It was just the two of us, ready to conquer the world and find a new team. And we like started having tryouts. We found Fujin. I saw her in the chat. And so then it was like the three of us. And also like it was pretty important to us to try and like have diversity on our team as well as like a good vibe. So like it was really great to start off, with the three of us. That was the beginning. And then Taijen actually came from Fruit Boops as well. Because Taijen was like, just had such a good vibe, such a good personality. So we kind of pulled him over, from Fruit Boops. And then that was 4. And then, we tried out a couple tanks and then we chose Mesos. But like the focus, I think from the beginning for CCS 7 was like good vibes. Like if we all are, Captain is like crazy. If we all are like having good vibes and having a good time and the environment is good, that's what we're looking for. And I think like we put in a lot of work to kind of look for that. But I think that it worked. Like our team is like, we're all great friends because I think like it has a really good environment. And then T-Rex kind of joined us. I mean, T-Rex from Anaressa joined us a little after. And that's kind of how we got to CCS 7.
I'm curious, Arcane spoke a lot last week on the show about the importance of that team vibe and how that is a vehicle for doing well competitively. do you think that like the good vibes first attitude of the team helped you guys to perform better than you could have if that wasn't the focus?
And that's a good question, and I think it's kind of like mixed now that like I'm looking back on everything and like what I've learned from Fruit Boops and CCS 7, because like I feel like even Fruit Boops had like so chill, like such a chill vibe, but like we kind of got a little wrecked sometimes. So it's like the vibe is important, but then you also, you also have to be ready to put in the work. So it's kind of, you have to pair it. You need people that have the vibe that matches yours. It might not even be they have a bad vibe. It might just be you have different ones. And then like they have to be on the same level as you in terms of like what you're looking for to put into the team. In terms of like time and practice and things like that. So I don't know. I feel like I've learned like it's such a like delicate balance that you really, I think, is hard to find.
What it's hard to find that balance of matches your vibe and matches your approach to the video game and matches your approach to playing competitively?
Yeah. And like that you're friends with, because at the end of the day, like if you're gonna play HOTS for a couple hours, a couple times a week, let's say, is what you're playing, then like you want those people to be your friends. Because if you're just getting on with strangers that are I don't know what to call them if they're not your friends, like is your team but it's not really your friends, then like that's not fun. And I think it lends itself to being more toxic when you don't feel like you have a relationship. Because when you feel like you have a relationship, then you're more looking out for each other's feelings. You're more aware of how people are doing and feeling, and you're checking in on each other more. So you kind of need everything, which is like a lot to ask, right? For a team that you're creating, that you start with people you don't really know a lot of times. So.
I'm curious, and I think we've talked about this, but like, and I guess like maybe when we get Anna Ress on the show, we can ask her. But like, what would it be like to play on a team with your partner or your husband?
I don't think.
And you don't have to speak. You don't have to speak about me. You can, but like just in general.
So I think it's hard. Like I play with Stoic a lot, but never in a competitive enough environment where I feel like it gives an idea of what being on a team would be like. Like we played the Gourds squad, but even that was like we were there for a fun time, and I don't know. So I think I feel like veering away from the question, but
go with it.
I think it would be difficult to play competitively with the person that you live with and do all the other things with. It's kind of nice to have a separation.
Yeah, that makes sense. I feel like it's kind of in the same realm of like not really wanting to like work at the same place, right? Like,
oh, we could never work at the same place. I'd be like, this guy is so crazy. Listen, like it's just different. Like I feel like we get along because we're different, and so I think that'd be similar to a team. Like it would be difficult, and you know them so well, so then. It's kind of creates this extra level.
I'm curious, though, you mentioned something, you said something to the effect of, we never played on a team where it was so competitive that we couldn't have fun. Is that what you said? Or,
yeah, something like that.
So what is that relationship? Like, can you not have, like, I know you're having the most fun when you're competing, right? Like, it's not fun if they're throwing. Sorry. It's not fun if they're throwing, like what, how do those two, they're not mutually exclusive, like what's their relationship? Chris, why are you dating my guy?
The chat is crazy tonight. The chat is popping off. You have to repeat the end of the question one more
It just
time.
comes down to like, you presented those two ideas as if they couldn't coexist. Competition and fun. But I know you. They
do. I don't know. I just feel like if I were playing competitively with Stoic, I I don't know. We played in some competitive tournaments and it was really fun. I don't know.
I don't either. I'm just curious.
I think there's also a certain element of like you need to be able to be critical of your teammates, and I mean I guess it, you know, in relationships you got to be able to be critical of each other too. So maybe those would actually work together better than I'm thinking. But
I know just from Stoic, like, okay, let's say this week we played he played Garrosh and I played Vala, and I was supposed to practice my stutter steps. And, like, even, like, doing that on, like, a custom map and, like, him telling me what to do, like, after long enough, like, I was getting mad. And so, like, just because, I don't know, there's, like, a level of frustration that, like, someone else could tell me to do something, but, like, if it's coming from Stoic, it, like, adds a little bit of, like, oh, I don't know how to describe it, but, like, I feel like if someone else were, like, coaching me on it, it wouldn't, him killing me multiple times in a row because I, like, couldn't stutter step away and he, like, threw a minion on me, like, got me more angry because it was him. I don't know, maybe because my competitive self is, like, the highest with him. I don't know. I feel like if it were someone else, it wouldn't be so difficult. So I think what you're saying, like, I agree that there's, like, I don't know. It's difficult. It's different.
definitely, yeah. I know from personal experience, like, it's weird because I do play HOTS with Miss Kryn, and you know, she has a lot of opinions. If you're watching, I love you, but she has a lot of opinions about the game that I don't necessarily agree with. And so, like, that kind of, you know, does, I wouldn't say it adds tension to the relationship, right? But there is, like, a certain level of disagreement that we just kind of have to agree to disagree, right?
That you don't have with other people. At least I don't notice. Like, when I'm playing with someone that's not him, I might not say that or, like, be annoyed by this little thing, but like, I get what you're saying. I feel that.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't.
Oh my gosh! Mazzino!
Oh, what's
Everyone
up,
out here getting subs!
Let's go!
Oh my gosh, drop the gourds in chat. That was really exciting. Okay, it's because me and Missy know. Alright, next question.
Well, no.
Or
we gotta
continue, sorry.
We gotta back
distracted.
up on this one. And I forgot because Mazzino dropped all these subs. Mazzino's shout out to Fruba, shout out to Amazing. Oh, Valkyrie with the NTs. What have we done? Oh, dang. I forgot the question.
Talking about relationships.
Yeah, I'm just interested, right? As an outside observer, like trying to be objective, I'm interested in Summer's rejection of Summer's rejection of not. I don't want to say like of help, but like of that oh, you know, like I don't want to practice with you. And like I don't know, maybe it's just because we spend so much time together. I'm not sure. I don't know. It also feels weird, like, analyzing you in this way. We're going to move on from this train of thought. I don't know. Next line of question.
So you mentioned that you feel like your hero pool kind of adapted to fit the meta, right, in pursuit of wanting to improve. What do you feel was, like, the hardest? Maybe a hero to pick up, or maybe a hero you loved playing that you can't play anymore because they're not meta? Like, what was the hardest part of that?
So, the hardest to pick up, honestly, I think is Ana. I don't know, it gets me super tilted every time I'm, not tilted, my tilted, not everyone's tilted. My tilted, like, every time I miss a healing dart, I don't know, it's like, I have to hit every single one, and I feasibly can at this point in my life. Maybe one day, maybe when I reach the level of Lamort, I can do it. But right now, I can't. And so, like, that's so frustrating to me. Or, like, I feel like every sleep I shoot, I should hit. And I don't feel as strongly about things like that with other healers. Like, if I don't get the pustule to everyone.
It spreads, though.
Okay. You know, but, like, if it doesn't pop on everyone, okay. Or if Decker doesn't, potion everyone, okay. But something about Anna and, like, you have this target focus and you miss it, that drives me crazy. And so, like, even though I feel like I've gotten her higher up in levels, like, I can't tell anyone, like, oh yeah, I'm super good at Anna, because I feel like I can't hit every healing dart. So she's just difficult. I think she was the hardest, though, also because her darts are so small. And for a long time, I wasn't playing with quick cast, and it was so hard. Oh my gosh. And then, like, I switched to quick cast not that long ago. Like, maybe 6 months ago. Maybe a little longer. Maybe like a year.
It was probably during Fruit Boops.
Yeah. No, okay, it wasn't that long ago. It was, like, when I started playing competitively, then I switched to quick cast, and I'm like, oh my gosh. This is a different world. I've been living in the dark. I've been, like, pointing this stupid healing thing and then clicking ahead of where I think they're gonna stand because, like, I'm having to do... Oh, my gosh. So, that helped for sure. But I think she's the hardest one that I've, like, worked on in terms of, like, one that I wish that I could still play more. Honestly, I wish Morales had more to her. Because I think you can play Morales, but I think, like, I've noticed that I've started to trend towards healers that I feel like I can be impactful. Instead of just healing, like, I am doing something to help with the fight, so that I can do both things. And so that has become, like, more of the healers I like. Like, I really like Stukov because I can slow and root that person, and then we get the kill. And, like, I'm not doing the damage, but, like, I might as well be. And so I've trended towards that, and, like, Morales is someone where it's like, I could boop you, like, 7 times, but there's nothing I can do. And so I wish she had I wish she had something a little bit more to her, because I've always really liked her.
What is it about her that you like?
I told you, I like that she's a medic. Like, she's, like, medic lady. She's legit. I don't know. I have, like, weird reasons for liking things, but I like her because she feels like a real medic. That's fun to me.
So I gotta ask then, because when people think Morales, people think Juice Pirates. Is that a strat that you are fond of?
No, I suck at the medevac. I'm so bad at the medevac. Last time I played the medevac, I was, like, so embarrassed. I think it was with Stoic and, like, Valkymer, and I was supposed to medevac to, like, a bush, and then we were supposed to get the tribute and get the kills, and, like, I didn't push the medevac, like, D to get out I don't even understand the medevac. I've only stimmed. If you want to play with Morales, you're only getting stimmed. That's it. No one's getting any medevac. I don't know what this medevac is. So, I'm not a juice pirate because I don't understand the medevac. Is what it is.
It might be a practice issue, though, right?
It probably is. But when am I going to practice Morales at this point? Like, I could probably nail it down now in, like, a couple trials, but, like, I don't know. Then that would, like, be... that's a different Morales than I've lived my life with. I couldn't do that to her. She's no pirate. She's a lady, and she's a medic. She's pure.
So I got to ask you a question. I've asked you before. But now that you're, like, on stream, I can maybe get an answer out of you. Why don't you read talents and abilities?
Oh my gosh!
Right now, like, it says in the medevac how to launch it and stuff. I'm not trying to be rude. I'm sincerely asking.
Listen, Stoic always getting triggered. He's like, you don't even know what talent means. Okay.
I'm just asking you a question. Like,
why did I say giants out here? Like, maybe Stoic is toxic. Have you ever seen him drop an NT? Do you know what that really means? That's one of his coping strats, okay? I developed it for him. But to answer the question, I do read the talents now. But I didn't for a long time. Why? I don't know. I did the ones people told me, and it worked. I didn't really spend a lot of time reading them. Now that I'm trying to be more competitive, I read them and, like, debate between ones. But for a long time, I just chose, like, whatever Stoic or someone would tell me. I just hearted them all, and then I just picked them. I see now, like, it's helpful to, like, use them appropriately. But I ended up doing that a lot of times anyway.
Like, doing what?
Using the talents appropriately without reading them. Because, like, once you choose them a couple times, you know what they're going to do because you watched it happen when you used it. So I just never felt like I needed to read that much about it because I saw what happened when I chose it and used it. So I didn't do it for a long time. And then now I do. Okay, so everyone can chill. I read them now and I debate. But I didn't for a long time.
And I'm not trying to call you out. I was just trying to understand, like, what the reasoning is.
I don't know.
It's fine.
It was too easy. It was making the game too easy. I'd have a challenge.
A handicap. No reading ability.
Exactly. I don't know.
Fair enough. So we have a little stockpile of questions from the community. I can start popping these off, Stoic, if that's cool with you.
Yeah, no doubt.
Alrighty. And then something else I'm going to try here, suggested by the one and only Crushnator. I'm going to be posting the questions in the chat as I ask them, just in case you need them for a reference as you're answering. So our first question comes from Valcomer. So he asks, when you made the jump into coordinated play, what activities helped you build team cohesion?
I don't know that we necessarily, like, in the jump, like, I'm trying to think with the fruit boops. I mean, we hardly practice. So I can't tell you there.
There was one drill that I ran with your team that was really effective, remember?
We did the Triglov protector. Is that what you're talking about?
No, remember we did rotations. Remember there was that whole practice.
We did? Okay. See, good thing Stoic's here. I'm like, what activities? We did, like, we would spend time in the first 2 minutes doing, the rotations on Volskaya. Just practicing them over and over again for the first 2 minutes to see if we could do it. But I feel like that's a different type of cohesion than he's talking about. I don't know. In terms of, like, CCS, I don't know. We just played together, got used to each other. I don't know that we necessarily did anything specific. I guess maybe, like, shout-outs. But that came a little later, and that's more on, like, the vibe side rather than the competitive side. We would write shout-outs for each other in a Google Forms and then read them after practices to kind of, like, keep the vibe positive. And that was, I would recommend that to anyone. It was, like, always fun. So, like, I think I read some last week, and I was, did not want to talk to anyone. And they were like, let's read shout-outs. And I was like... Fine, let's read shout-outs. I can't do this right now, but it made me feel better after. So it's a pretty good strat, I guess.
Well, that transitions perfectly into another one of our questions from Fujin, who asks what the inspiration was for the shout-out form.
I don't even know what the inspiration was. I wish I could remember. I think it came from Anaressa. Maybe, like, I suggested it or she suggested it. Maybe if she's in chat, she remembers. Trying to find a way to keep it positive. Especially, like, I feel like when you're first figuring your team out, like, it can get kind of tense. You're trying to figure out how you all work together, how you want to give feedback to each other. And so it was a way to kind of, like, keep us connected and looking for positives in what we were doing, and shouting out each other. So I think, I don't know.
Okay.
It's got to come some from your teaching, though, Tom. Like, didn't you do that with your 7th graders?
Did I do shout-outs with my 7th graders? I used to teach 7th grade. Did I do shout-outs with them? More like I did roast of them every day. Honestly, I don't think I shouted. I don't think I did shout-outs there. It was way too crazy. I had to roast them instead. I don't know. Maybe it came from something there. I can't really remember on the seriousness. You heard it here first. I'm the queen of roasting. I used to say, like, I used to be so much better at my comebacks and my roasts. I was so good. It was like this. And now, every so often, if someone tries to get a little spicy with me, I pull some of those out. But I try and keep it a lot more chill now.
Who is better at roasting children?
Who is better at roasting children, me or Stoic? Honestly, I never saw him in person roast. He's, like, Like I said, he's toxic. So his roast would like come for everything they had and like everything they were.
You can't be caught lacking with these kids though.
Whereas my roast would be like a roast, and then it would be like, but like a little later, like, oh, but you know I love you. Like it would always be like I can't keep them crying for hours. But Stoic is like, I don't know
I
you.
never made a single kid cry.
Oh well. Anyways, back to the questions.
I'm just kind of curious because like it's been established that you're a very competitive person, and now coming up that you have, or at least had, a very strong roast game. Do you have? Hold on. Okay, I know you have at least one sister.
Yes.
Do you have like a lot of siblings? Because I know that usually younger siblings are like very competitive.
I have two brothers.
Okay.
One
Summer is the
older,
alpha sibling.
one older, one younger. But it is true, if they ever watch this, that they all know I am the alpha sibling. So I don't know, maybe the competitiveness came from there.
Okay.
I'm in charge, I think.
Okay.
I don't roast them as much now because it's been well established. But in the day, yes, I was very spicy with my words.
Okay. And that transitions into Fujin's question, kind of already sort of answered, but Fujin asks, how many siblings do you have, and are their names all thematic?
3, and only the best are themed, me and Autumn. Summer's my real name, if you missed it. Only Summer and Autumn. The other 2 are boys, and they're named like random things I won't reveal, because who knows? I don't know. Their names are not, they're not like winter or spring or anything, or August. So, sucks.
That would have been so cool.
I know, sucks to be them.
So, kind of on the topic previously about
Josh? Not Josh.
Valkymer asks, how has the transition been from previous teams to Carcraft Sounds?
I mean, like I said before, I was only on Fruit Boops to Car Crash, and I took half of the Fruit Boops to Car Crash. I mean, I didn't, right, because I'm not, but I helped. I helped navigate them that way. So it was a pretty easy transition, in all honesty, because it was just going from Heroes Lounge to NGS, a little more competitive, a little more committed than the Fruit Boops were, so it was a pretty easy transition, I think. It wasn't bad at all. I didn't even try out.
That's interesting. You mentioned tryouts before. What did that process kind of look like for people who wanted to join Car Crash Sounds? You kind of touched on wanting good vibes. Were there any other requisites?
Good question.
There was talk of it being an all-girl team, no?
Yeah, we did think about the idea of like, can we just get only ladies? Because like that doesn't happen. I mean, girls are so underrepresented in gaming and in HOTS, I feel like a lot. And so that was kind of originally like, could we do that? Should we do that? But we ended up not. But we had majority, so I think that's pretty good. 3 ladies. But like I remember when we like played with Fujin, like we just kind of want to see if we could get along. I feel like, and not like, I feel like that was the focus, to be honest. Is like, can we play together, and like, do they vibe with us? And that was the biggest thing. And like I already knew Taijen, so like I don't even remember if there was really a tryout as much as like I played with Taijen. Let's all make sure we all get along, good to go. I guess only really Mesos was subjected to a full tryout. And I wasn't even there, so.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
You weren't there for that?
Nah.
I was there for that.
Stoke was there. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure. I think I was.
Fujin had to try out twice, she says. I don't even remember. I don't know. I was there for a good time. I don't know. I don't remember.
That's fair. When you guys were in the stages of like potentially being an all ladies team, did you make any sort of affiliations with the Girls Gang Squad? I know that they're a fairly big name in the community as like the ladies, the OP ladies of the Nexus, right?
And Jazzy in the chat.
Ooh, in the chat. uh, no, I didn't even really know about Girls Gang Squad. So it wasn't like, I mean, if I would have known, then maybe I would have like looked that direction. I didn't really know about Girls Gang Squad.
Would you have done that first?
I think I joined their Discord server not that long ago, and I played with them not too long ago either, and it was a great time. I just didn't know about it before. And like I said, like I play HOTS, and I really like playing HOTS, and I play quite a bit of HOTS, but like I am like the least informed HOTS person. Like, I feel like if you ask me like what type of game is HOTS, a MOBA, I don't even know what that stands for. Like, I'm like, I don't know any of the lore. I don't know half the heroes. I'm like very low on the level of like informed about HOTS and like watching HOTS. So I never really knew about Girls Gang Squad.
Okay.
It's true. You only played one other Blizzard game once.
I only played what?
One other Blizzard game once.
What was it?
When you beat Jenna in
StarCraft. Stoic told me what to do. I typed all the buttons. I won.
Destroyed her.
Yep. I beat some other dude's wife. I told you, competitive. Like, he was like, click this. I'm like, okay. That's the only other game I played, really, on the PC even. Minecraft.
We played that one night of Minecraft.
One time we played Minecraft all night long.
It was so fun.
Yeah.
Nice.
But that's it. Like,
I'm still chasing that dragon.
I'm not like I said, like I really just play HOTS and Breath of the Wild, and a couple party games here and there.
Animal Crossing.
And Animal Crossing I was getting into, but I was getting tilted because it was taking too long. Trying to grow black tulips. All I wanted was black tulips. I don't care about the rest of the game. I just wanted my tulips to be black. Took forever. Anyways.
Fair enough. So our next question comes in from Dropping Babies. Nice name. They ask, what is the most important skill to master in regarding to being a good healer?
Good question. I mean, I think it depends on your team a little bit. But I would say, like, seeing everyone at once and trying to manage that. Because, like, I feel like even when I'm playing now, like, if there's 4 people in front of me and I only super zone in on 2 of them because those are the ones, like, in the most imminent trouble, then I'm neglecting the other ones. And it's an issue. I feel like that's the key, is like you have to know where all your team is at all times, especially like say someone like Brightwing. Like, you need to be watching the health bars at the top. If not everyone's with you, you have a TP available. Like, you kind of have to be like watching multiple people at once, which I think is where it becomes kind of tricky. I mean, like, sometimes when I'm playing, like, Fujin will be top and I'll be like, Fujin, you okay? You alright? Because I'm just, like, watching the health to make sure. So I think that's, like, the skill you need that's difficult, is just, like, always having that awareness of where everyone is. And then that doesn't even factor into the fact that, like, you should do some other things, too. But I think that's the hardest one to do when you have everything else coming at you.
On a semi-related note, would you say that, like, healer, because like, it, I guess, so context, it kind of seems like you like playing hard heroes, right? Do you feel like part of what makes you want to be a healer is you feel like healer is the hardest role to play, just from having so many things to micromanage?
I mean, you said it. But, like, I think it is. Like, I think, so this is my personal feelings. I feel like everyone's like, oh, you want to play something easy, be the healer. Because, like, you're not getting the kills. You're not doing the upfront things. I feel like a lot of people get put onto healer when they first start playing. And I don't know, there's also this trend that, like, a lot of girls play healers. And I don't necessarily know why that is the thing either. But I feel like people are like, oh, healer, that's easy, try it. But I actually think, like, there's phases, right? Like, just, like, basic healers is easy. Like, you play Lily, you hold the Q, you live your best life, you keep it moving. But, like, to actually, I think, be impactful as a healer, which is, like, usually my goal is, like, I want to do something. I don't want the people just to be alive, but I want to feel like I helped, like, get the kill, or I helped do things. And I think that's, like, a different level of healing that is actually, I think, more difficult than a lot of the other roles. Because you're trying to do both things. You're trying to heal everyone and basic attack and do the engages when you have them. So, like, you're doing an extra layer when you're healing. And so then it's kind of hard because sometimes when I'm like doing that, like I'm playing Deckard and I'm like the slow, the root, like the sleep, then I'm like, oh, the potion, crap. Like, so I think, like, there's a lot there. So.
After we do the snack tier list, so make sure to stay tuned for after the show, snack tier list part 2 coming at you, dessert style.
The fans wanted it.
Let's do a QM where you can play the tank.
So I'm not crapping on anyone else's role. I never said that. But, and I think, like, tank's pretty hard too, right? But I think, like, healer is, underrated in how difficult it can be. Like, I think people assume healer to be a lot easier than it is. That's my feeling. Healer is mechanically hard. I agree. So,
Philosophical snake in the chat, knowing what's up.
All right. So the next question we have, so Wolf asks, what is one hero that you can't stand to have on your team?
Show me the heroes.
You have all the monitors.
That I can't stand to have on my team. I don't know if I have, like, a super strong hatred of anyone. Like, on my team? I don't know. I'm literally gonna look through them. Hold on. This is a hard question, Wolf. I don't know that I specifically have someone. I really don't. This is not the hops that I play. This picture they're showing me is full of crazy people.
Like Chen?
I don't know that I have an answer to that. I don't know that there's one I, like, super hate. I mean...
Probe?
No.
Nova?
I don't hate Probius. Where's Chad? How could he say that?
Nova?
No, like, I don't feel any sort of way towards any of them. Like, if you can play it, you can play it.
That's fair.
You're telling me you loaded a QM and see some butcher?
There because I can heal you. Okay. No. Chad tilting out of his mind somewhere. I don't mind Probius. Play the Probius. One time we played a ARAM and we had all these Probius, I don't know what they're called, shield things, and it was pretty lit. So I feel like I don't hate anyone. I hate skins, and I hate that some of them are super gross to look at. But do I hate them?
Oh, hit us with the skin tier list live.
No, I'm not hitting you with the skin tier list right now.
What's the worst skin in the game? And then the best skin in the game?
The worst skin in the game is the Cho'Gall skin with all the nipples. I'm sorry, but, like, that is a different kind of foul. I don't like that one. That one is, like, no. I don't know. I'm not the expert at all the skins, but that one stands out in my mind as being
Best
vomit.
Best
The
skin.
best skin? The Kira Cosmonaut ones are pretty good. The one, like, I like those a lot, and I don't even really play Kira that much. And I like the Butcher one where he has his body is split in half, and he has the flame. I think that one's a good one.
Okay.
Yeah.
We should have just had the whole interview be about skins and mounts.
Honestly, I could talk about them for days. What's the best mount? The Flirty Cloud. And if you think it's something else, get out of my DMs. The Flirty Cloud is the best mount. And I don't even own it. And every day I talk about how upset I am that I don't own the Flirty Cloud. So please, send me the Flirty Cloud if you own it. Give it to me. Give me your account. I need it.
All right. So the next question on the list, Fujin asks, what is your favorite snack to hear others eat?
Okay, so let me get the background to this. So my every time someone on my team is eating something, I'm like, what you eating? What you snacking on? I like to know. I love snacks. If you watch my snack thing, I flippin' love snacks. And so I'm always like asking, like I hear everything. I used to do this with my professors too. They'd like have a little like change in their voice, and I'm like, oh, the dude is eating like a nut bar right now. Like, yeah, I don't know. You could just like tell like when people are eating, and I don't know. It's always like, I guess, a weird quirk. Like I like to know like what people are eating, but in real life, I'm like, if I can hear you eating, I will kill you. So I don't know what it is about like. I don't know. I don't know. But my favorite snack, I don't know, something like a crunchy chip. I feel like T-Rex is always like crunching on chips, and I'm always like I can get down with that. I like the chip crunches, so I'd have to guess that. I don't know.
All right. So we're almost at the end. 2 more questions. So Osprey asks, I'm not 100% sure what this means. You might know better. As a PA, what's your honest diagnosis of CCS 7? What do you think you should try to address it?
I don't know what this question means. A PA is what I'm studying to be, a physician assistant, similar to a nurse practitioner, mid-level provider. Come see me someday. What's your honest diagnosis of CCS 7? I don't have an answer for you, Osprey. This is weird. I don't know what you want from me.
He's just calling out your team. He's saying your team is sick.
He's saying we're sick.
Your
I
team
know.
is sick.
That's what I'm sitting here like, we're ill. I want to hear what you think of your team. Like a diagnosis? Not necessarily. Then why? You know what? I've had such a great season with my team. I don't think I could ask for like a better group of people to be friends with and like dive into competitive HOTS with, just in terms of like getting along and like being there for me. Fujin, Osprey about to catch hands. Virtual hands will be thrown. I don't know.
Right.
I hope that answers his question. Excellent ambulance callers.
And the last question from the community that we have for tonight, Wolf asks, which CCS squad do you think is the easiest to get along with outside of your own team?
There's a right answer here, I think.
Am I like gonna drop like spice bombs right now?
Yeah.
Because like, no, I'm not going to. Outside of my team, no, it's CCS, Gourd Squad for life, obviously. But it says I thought it was another CCS team, right? That was the question.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But -4 and -6.
I think he wants me to say CCS too. I will say, like, I feel like there's people on every team that, like, I really get along with and I really enjoy.
Drop the names.
I'm not dropping the names. They know who they are.
And they're not real.
They know who they are. And I will say, like, some CCS teams, I'm like, do I even know who's on your team? Do I even know you? I don't know. So, I don't know. You heard it here first.
Is that your fault or theirs? I mean, I'm not. This is actually a serious question. Like, do you think that like there's more that you could be doing to reach out? Is there more that the community should?
I don't know. Like, I feel like CCS. Oh, I suck at the numbers. CCS.
I'll help you.
3. Like, we scrimmed them. Like, that's awesome. They scrimmed us, and like they're better than us. But like we scrimmed them, and like they were super helpful to us. So like. there's teams that we've interacted more with than others. And I don't know, is that on me? I mean, I'm not sliding in all their DMs, so I don't know. Everyone's gonna watch this and be like, get the pitchforks. I don't know. I don't know. I think like as a community as a whole, like CCS is super great. I mean, I think that's why we all watch this community chat show, and like we have on the top of our Discord servers like CCS, right? Because the people there are your friends. So that doesn't give you a specific team, but like I feel like there's so many people that like I've become really good friends with on each of the teams. So
Okay. Now you got to draft a team of CCS All-Stars that you want to play with.
I'm not doing that. I'm
Why?
not doing that.
Why?
That's just like
Alright.
I'm not doing that.
All right, never mind. Too much.
These people trying to turn me against all my fans. I won't do it.
So I mean, let's pull in one more question from the chat here. This one also comes from Wolf. What's the most important thing that you learned in this season of NGS, and then we can transition out of this line.
The most important thing I learned from this season of NGS. Playing in NGS is like a different world than playing otherwise. So the most important thing I learned is to prepare yourself for that and like adjust. Like I feel like you have to adjust. You have to change your mentality the way you play. From how you were playing before, because before it was just fun, and then all of a sudden all these people have all this knowledge and skills, and just like adjusting and learning and trying to just like get a feel for all of the strategy required. Like it's a different level. So I think that was difficult.
Yeah,
I think that was
for
the most important thing, is like just familiarizing myself with how to play HOTS competitively in a different competitive aspect than I was playing before. Competitively as a team, I guess.
Mm-hmm. And then we do actually have one other question that I missed. I want to make sure we get them all. So Valkmer asks, how has NGS Season 11 represented personal growth for you and team growth for Car Crash Sounds?
Personally, I feel like I've definitely transitioned with NGS Season 11 towards kind of what I was saying before, more of taking on the idea that I'm not just healing, but I'm starting, like I'm working on engages and adding damage and like doing this whole aspect of healing that before I wasn't doing as much. Like it was much more about like what is the highest extent that I can contribute as the healer outside of my healing. That's what I think is the biggest thing I learned with this season. And the biggest thing my team learned, it's kind of what I said, like just playing competitively. Like I feel like just learning like maps. I don't even feel like we are, familiar with, we're definitely not familiar with all the maps enough that we're like, we can do any and we'll be fine. Like, it's such a process to really, like, get good at all the maps and know the strategies and know the macro. And then on top of that, know how to play together and, like, do the things that you need to. So I think, like, we just kind of got our feet wet with that. Like, it's a lot. You can't expect to do all that in one season, I don't think. And so I think we made a lot of growth, but you can't do that. Hydra's saying not everyone's even comfy on all. And I feel like that's true. Like you just choose two maps that you're never ever going to think about and you just ban them for life. The end. So, maybe it's not just me.
What are those two maps if you could just never play two maps again?
Like in the NGS pool?
You can't say
yeah, in the
Black
NGS pool.
Hearts.
Yeah.
Because Black Hearts is like in the NGS pool, what's that one called?
Which?
The huge one, Curse Hollow?
Where you put
That map is too big. No, thank you. I can't reach the people that I need to. And like I just feel like it's impossible. You can't be everywhere at once. It's just too big. Definitely hate that one.
Brightwing.
Nah. I don't like that one. Okay. That's just me right now. I don't like that one. It's the second one. I don't know.
You just really hate Cursed Hollow. All
I
right.
really don't like Curse. I don't like how big it is. It's so annoying.
Yeah,
It's
fair
driving me
enough.
crazy. The other ones I don't mind. I can't. I'm trying to think of like another I don't. I feel the same strong level, and it's not as strong. Map tier list.
So, a common question that we have on the show, I'm curious to get your take on, because you seem to be a very competitive person both in game and in real life, right? With your career, what are some things that you've learned while playing HOTS competitively or casually that you've been able to apply in your real life?
This is a hard question, and I feel like more often my real life things come over into HOTS. I keep them pretty separate. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Okay.
Like it's very split because how do I describe, like, my school and like things I'm doing for school is so stressful and like consumes so much energy that like when I'm playing HOTS, that's like a totally different, like I have to keep them separate. It's like an outlet. So even though it's like stressful and competitive, it's different. And so I just keep them very separate. If anything, like I bring things from like my whole real life into HOTS, but like I feel like I keep most of my life here, and then like HOTS is like over here. I don't know. That sounds weird. But
I think it makes sense. Stoic is kind of the bridge that or the bridge between the two worlds.
I mean, he's just in both of them, right? So
Just coincidence.
Yeah.
for now. But
What?
no, I'm just kidding.
What the
I was
heck?
gonna say like if he was like trolling in HOTS. That sounded rude.
Yeah, that's not funny.
So, so you mentioned that like you haven't really been huge into games competitively. Have you ever had any other hobbies that you've kind of taken part in at this kind of level before?
Competitively, I used to play a lot of softball. Very competitively. But I don't do that anymore. I don't know, I feel like I'm competitive in everything I do.
Think about when we were in college, how much crap we did. We just would look out for competitions.
Yeah, it's just like, I feel like that's just part of my personality, so everything I do is like part of that. I'm trying to think if there's like something I'm like actively competing in. But I do it in everything. Like, I'm in PA school, I must be the class president. The end. Like, it's just like how I am. I like to be in control. I like to compete for things.
Think about how many times you won the haiku competitions.
Yeah, I used to, so Stoic used to have poetry slams, and I would only write haikus. And I feel like if you know me, that feels very on brand. I'm very much a haiku person. So I used to do haikus, and I would win, because I was good at them. I'm trying to think of, like, other things I've been like really competitive. I just like everything I do. I like to do it the best
Grades.
that I can. Like my grades, oh my gosh, I'm crazy about school. So it even gets into that, and honestly, like, it's probably to the point that like it's a little unhealthy. Like I'm like, I have to have the best grades in the world. Like, I'm like that person, and I'm trying to get past it. But yeah, I'm super competitive in everything that I do. I don't turn it off. I don't know.
So I guess
Sneakers, everything.
you're competitive with sneakers?
Not like competitive, but I don't know.
She flexes on the haters.
I love to flex on the haters.
She's got more heat than the next person on the subway train. That's the game. You gotta get on the subway train and make sure that you have the most heat. If you're lacking, you gotta find the next car.
Huh. So when you
Summer sneaker collection stream?
Sneaker reveal? I don't have any on right now.
Fair enough.
Sorry.
I guess the inverse of the previous question is, do you have any hobbies that you enjoy non-competitively? Do you have something that you use to wind down from competition? I know you mentioned it before.
I mean, I'm like exercise, but even then I'm like on the bike and I'm like, these little fetchers, I have to beat them. I like to paint. I do a lot of art, actually. I paint, I draw. Someday maybe I'll showcase them all to you. That's kind of my wind down, is like art.
Oh, go grab that chicken you did. That chicken's pretty cool.
I drew that. No.
Okay.
So I guess art. I definitely do trend towards art. Like almost everything in our house is like some form of art from me. Whether it's like photographs or drawings or watercolor. I definitely do a lot of art non-competitively, and don't feel any competitiveness within art. So that's a bonus. Eating.
Cool.
Does that count as a hobby? I think it does, because I'm like a pretty big foodie. And so like I love trying new food and like finding good food and looking for new places to go.
But you don't ever do like volume competitions.
I don't
like you
volume
and
eat.
Kate. You
Although,
and Kate would never go head
if
to
we're
head.
talking about, I probably could, because I'm a total binge eater. But I don't eat competitively.
But like that's never been like a thing for you, like trying to out eat somebody.
No. I didn't need to. I already won. Not just kidding.
Competitive eating, like, I know it's a little off
No
topic, but
joke.
it makes me really uncomfortable. Like, when people are eating like 15, 17 hot dogs, it's like, what are you like?
It's like a science. So, yeah. I don't know. That I'm not competitive in, like, looking for food. Or, like, we, like, now not as much because of COVID, but we used to see a lot of films. And just like talk about them and kind of critique them, and that was like a really fun hobby that Stoic and I had together that now we can do, but it's a little different, you know, when you're not like going to the theater and engaging with the film in that way. Like from home, it's not quite the same because Stoic's like, let's just pause real fast, and I'm not a pauser, so.
You're not a pauser.
No, I don't need to pause.
So it's like if you're like halfway through a film and you gotta go to the bathroom.
No, so I'll pause it, but like I'm talking Stoic's like, let's just pause really fast and evaluate evaluate this scene. Like he's like, and it's really impressive. Like that's way more his background than mine. Like mine's way more science and his is way less. But I'm like, let's just watch it and then we can talk about it after. But he's like, let's just pause it and let's talk about this.
That does sound very on par.
He's like much more an analyst than I am.
Yeah.
So.
Like to know everything that's going on.
You just yeet all things.
Are you serious, really? Yes, I'm serious. It's true, I do yeet all things. I'm like a very like, let's do this type of person. I'm also, if you can't tell from this show, like a very love-hate. Like, I either love it or I hate it, and that's it, and there's no in between. That's just what it is, if you wanted to know more about me. And Stoic's more like a, So.
What hot takes do you have?
Oh, also I saw a question. Wait, can I answer a question I saw a while back?
Of course.
Since I'm the one running the stream, someone asked, I think maybe it was Valk, asked, what does NT really mean? Can I answer that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so like I've said before, Stoic is pretty toxic.
People think that's true. Like, you're flaming the heck.
I'm not flaming it a heck. No, but like I said before, he kind of like when he's playing with randos that like don't get the game or like don't like I don't know, just like
they
really
have to not get the game and flame.
Yeah, so they don't get the game and they flame other people. If they meet these qualifications, then he used to flame the heck out of him. out of them. He would like type back all these things. I'd be like, they left the game already. And he's like still like, he's like sending more.
You thought Porky was a typer.
No, he's like, so then we came up with this strategy, like I was like, look, I'm not gonna play with you. Because, like I said, I have this past of these people flaming me when I was just trying to play the game. I didn't know what I was doing. And so, like, that's a very sensitive thing for me. Like, I cannot deal. If you're going to be toxic, I can't deal with that in that way. And so, I would be like, in any way, really. And so, I'm like, I'm not going to play with you. Because I'm not here for toxicity. I don't want to see that at all. And I would get so mad at him. And so, he finally, like, he decided, as is a strategy, that instead of typing all these things to all these people, he would just type NT. Which really is like, people are like, NT, nice try. But he's like sitting there, NT, no talent. So when you see NT from Stoic, he's really like, no talent.
Not always.
Not always. I mean, you decide for yourself.
Well, so
when you get the NT, you decide.
if you're in the QA with me and I just type NT, I probably am blaming you.
But that was kind of like the strategy, so that he could get this level of tilt out, and like have the last word or whatever the heck, and not get me angry about him being toxic. So that's the answer to that question. NT. So now you guys can use that strategy too, but keep it chill. Otherwise, people are going to start knowing it's like casually toxic on the side.
To Osprey in the chat, I do call nice try. Like, that's a big thing that I feel that's really important to me is to say nice try when like somebody does something and it doesn't go well, or if it does. This is really just at the end of the game, I drop the NT to not explode. Because I am toxic.
Stoic toxic confirmed clip. Hilarious. All right. Anyways.
So, I think I don't know if it was confirmed or not. You were talking earlier about watching HGC stuff. Do you consume any HOTS content right now outside of, like, you know, maybe replay reviews?
Do I?
Occasionally, I can convince her to watch a CCL match with me. Like, but never a whole match. Like, one game out of a match, maybe.
Yeah.
Like, she honestly used to watch more HOTS before she started playing.
Mm.
Like, we would watch whole series of Dorm, or even at HGC back at our old place.
I don't really watch it myself.
But, like, these days, she's watched less HOTS the more she plays.
Yeah. If I'm not playing, or like I'll watch my own stuff. Or I'll watch my friends playing. So I guess there's a little increase there. If someone I know is playing, I like to be there and, like, support in the chat. But in terms of, like, watching anyone, like, competitive play, like, I feel like I don't even really watch CCL. Sorry, Storm. I just don't. When I'm not playing HOTS and I'm not doing it actively for myself, I'm busy. Like, I don't have a lot of time outside of the time I set aside for HOTS. To be honest. So I'm usually studying. That's boring, but that's the facts.
And do you think that that's kind of like a result of, like, you have a certain amount of HOTS time set aside, so the more you play, the less time you have for...
Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's necessarily like, I was choosing before to set aside time for HOTS when I was watching, but now that I have to actively set aside time for HOTS for playing, then I don't have this extra time I had before that I was just like, oh, what do I do now? And so it's like, oh, watch.
You could swap Netflix, and that's interesting. Like,
I could swap Netflix, but like I'm not about to swap all my shows. Like, I have to keep up with, I also love watching shows, so I can't. When I'm not playing HOTS for myself, I'm watching something else.
That's not HOTS.
Yeah.
I'll see if I can get her to watch the Storm Boys. Guess not.
We'll see. Netflix greater than HOTS? If someone said to me, would you rather have HOTS or Netflix?
Ooh, here we go.
I I'd probably say Netflix. Sorry. I don't know. That sounds bad.
What if it's just
Here's
like
the thing.
like a year by year, like for the rest for 2022, Netflix or HOTS, like not your whole life, right? Because eventually, like we'll be done with this video game. Okay, never mind. You'll play
You
HOTS
heard
forever.
it. Stoic's quitting.
Never mind. Summer wants to play HOTS forever. That's cool, but like
Stoic's done. If I had to choose for this year, I would choose HOTS. Here's the thing, and I will say this, and maybe Netflix isn't, and now Ace is like crying, and that's what I was actually gonna say is like, the difference between Netflix and HOTS is Netflix is me by myself watching Netflix, but when I'm playing HOTS, I'm playing with the Gourds, or I'm playing with CCS, like I'm playing with my friends, and this is like a new thing for me. Like I've never played games before, so I've never had online people to play with, like people that I don't know in real life necessarily, but like are my great friends, except for Ace and Lamore, who I know in real life. But like it's different for me, and so would I give up all of those friends from HOTS? If someone said Netflix or give up all your friends from HOTS, then I would probably keep all my friends from HOTS, actually. Because like I met so many great people. I've seen some of them in the chat tonight. Like it like makes my heart so happy, like all the friends I made with HOTS, which is like the real sob of the night. Like really. I met so many friends. I've never had anything like this before. So now that I think about it that way, I guess I would choose HOTS.
It's cute. That's what CCS is all about.
But it's not even HOTS. If I could have all those friends on a call with me watching my Netflix, I would choose that. But I don't know that they all want to get on my Netflix calls. If you want to have a watch party, let me know. But I'd choose the friends.
While we're on the emotional topic, feel free to tell me to heck off, by the way, if this is too far.
Oh, gosh.
But
oh, dang.
I noticed 22 Lamore said in chat, you were talking earlier about you and Stoic getting along so well because you're so different. And something I've noticed a lot from some of our guests is that a lot of people have partners that aren't into HOTS, or maybe that they understand but they don't really get along over it. How did you and Stoic kind of come to get along with your differences?
Well, here's the key for the people that are married. First, you gotta fake it, and pretend you have no differences. Yeah, we used to think that we were so similar.
We have a lot of similarities.
We do have a lot of similarities, but like I feel like when we were dating, we're like, oh, we're very similar, and then the longer we've been married, the more we're like.
Because on the surface, like we're both extremely competitive.
We're very different.
We eat our popcorn the same way. We both are interested in a lot of the same things.
I'm not even remembering what the question itself was.
Like, how did we come to be?
How did we come to... So, like I said, I played HOTS because Stoic was playing HOTS, and it was like a way to do something together. And I think if I wouldn't have liked HOTS, I would have not continued to play, but luckily I liked it, and so it let us play together. Is that answering the question? I don't even know.
I think he's coming more from like the Sam and Summer together. Maybe he.
Oh, like do we have differences?
So I thought maybe he's talking about the online personas. I thought he meant as like us as humans.
For us as humans, I'll answer it. For us as humans, like we definitely do have a lot of differences, and I think the more time goes on, the more like those differences are apparent. But like we just talk about everything. When I met Stoic, I was like not a communicator. I was very much like I'm giving you the silent treatment. Goodbye. And I was pretty good at it, I will say. But he's very big on communication. And so it took actually like a while for me to like really feel comfortable. Like if I like felt a certain way about a certain thing or whatnot, to be comfortable talking through things, because I always was a silent treatment. Silent, shove the emotions down, move on. Write it in my burn book, call it a night. That was literally me. So how we reconcile these differences is like Stoic, to be honest, helping me learn how to communicate those things better, because that's something he's naturally good at that I wasn't naturally good at communicating. Or maybe he wasn't naturally good at it and he just worked really hard to, but the Stoic that I know and like started interacting with was good at it from the beginning. So in my mind, that's like, he's naturally good at communicating. So to answer the differences question, how do we reconcile? Like now, if we have differences, we talk about them. But I mean, I feel like when we weren't married, like we made it very clear that there were some differences that like we had to have the same, and I think we do. Like the things that are like not reconcilable, we had the same. So
we both like carne asada fries.
I mean, we had a very difficult conversation when we were like, should we get married? I was like, will you always be able to purchase Crystal Light caffeine packets for me? And he was like, and I'm like, will you be able to provide me with Crystal Light caffeine packets? And he agreed. And I've had them ever since. So, you know, you gotta ask for what you know. You gotta ask for what you want. You gotta let them know. This has to happen.
What's the sweetener called in them?
I don't know.
There's a joke here about like stevia daddy instead of sugar daddy.
He said it. Report the stream. Inappropriate content.
Why is it inappropriate?
I'm kidding.
I don't understand. Flaming me for nothing.
Oh, jeez.
But that I think that answered the question. I don't know. Be clear about what you want, and be clear about things that bother you. And like Stoke's very nice, so he's much more like the like understanding, forgiving, nice, and I'm much more the spicy Cheeto. So you gotta have a spicy Cheeto, and you gotta have like a cool glass of water, and that makes the spicy Cheeto hotter. No, but you need like a balance. Stoic is goals, really. He's goals.
5 years next week, Jesse. We can have a Stoic summer stream later. We want to make sure we wrap up the podcast.
Stoic's 10-step program. He used the Dennis method. Just kidding.
Oh yeah, easy Dennis method. Wait, I guess it'd be the
whatever.
The
Anyways, I've been married 5 years next week too. Oh
wait,
our
what?
What, Jazzy?
What day,
Our
Jazzy?
anniversary's on the 22nd. It's 5 years. So maybe this.
Yo, you already know she got married on the same day.
26th. No,
Oh,
that's cute.
oof, close.
Anyways, and we dated for a year and a half before that. So, yeah. There you have it.
If you keep it up, people think we went to University of Utah. Anyway, other questions as we get way too off topic here, and I see you, Corinne. Yeah, we're calling it. Any last questions here? Let's ask one more for the road just to keep us focused on the hots, and then we can end. We're not going to stop streaming though, so I'm just going to do some snack tier lists, but we will end the podcast. So make sure to hang out and chat as Summer goes through dessert tier list. So this is an interesting one. I've been playing with my brother, Summer's brother-in-law, Jacob, right? We love Jacob, but he's just like not, the HOTS is new for him, right? He's never had a mini-map coming from Overwatch, so he has no idea what's going on. If you had to have Jacob on your team on Car Crash Sounds in season 11, or 12, whatever season we're on next, NGS season 12, Jacob's on Car Crash Sounds, how would you get him ready?
I would say pick 2 people and get really, really, really good at those 2. I feel like you have to start small. And I feel like if you have 2 people you play, you just get really, really... Like, if you're starting from 0, just become really, really good at 2 people.
So
of a similar role.
No macro, no strategy, no roles, just 2 people that do kind of the same thing.
Know how to play your hero. 2 people. Know how to play your hero, 2 people against whoever you play. And then you're joining a team, so other people can contribute to other things, I think. Because odds are you're not going to have a team full of brand new, no one has a clue what the heck they're doing. So you're just getting into HOTS, I would do that.
Why 2 specifically?
Because, like, everyone's like, have 5, that's crazy. Like, if you're just starting, have 2. and know how to play them. And once you get pretty good at these two of the same role, then like the transition to more, I think, is a little easier. So 2 feels manageable. I'm like very big on like, it needs to be a manageable lifestyle change. Watch my health podcast talk. No, but like it needs to be a manageable lifestyle change. It needs to be a manageable goal that you can reach and then go forward. And I feel like telling someone to master 5 heroes is too hard. It's hard to master a hero. It's really hard. So giving someone 2 is like, you have one you can switch back and forth between. When you get sick of one, you switch to the other. And it's manageable. You feel like you can do that to start. It's just a starting step. And then from there, there's so much more, but that's what I would do.
I think that's a good take.
And then someone starts banning you, choose a new one.
Yeah.
You did it once. You're already ready. So.
Well, sorry, you've been a great guest. We're here at our time. We've been a little bit over, but I mean, it's all right.
Oops.
You've been my favorite guest so far, if I can say that. Before we get shout outs from you, is there anything that we didn't ask you that you expected us to, or maybe you wish that we would have?
No, I don't know. I didn't really think about it too much. I feel like all the other guests are like, tell us about the people on your team, which like I feel like I talked about, but not about them as people. If you want to hear about them, but I don't. Should I describe each of them with one word?
This is whatever you want to do, hon.
Okay, I'll describe each person on my team with one word.
Okay, thanks for asking.
Don't get mad at me, okay? Don't get mad at me. Anorexia? Spreadsheet. Fujin? Goth. Can I put cutie goth into one word? That's the word.
No, you got it. What is the word?
I said it. It was a word.
Cutie goth.
Yeah. Thank you for that. Thank you for the edit. Taijen? Calm Beach.
That's definitely 2 words.
2 words.
That's
I put it in one. Put it together. It was what came to mind. This is like that thing, like what comes to your mind when you say sponge, octopus. I don't know. So this is the same sort of thing.
Palm Beach, like a
Calm Beach. It's like he's like easy breezy. T-Rex. Pal. Like T-Rex is just like such a pal. Mesos. Boss. Is that everyone?
That's the squad.
Summer? Spicy Cheetah.
Which is funny because that's what she calls the dog sometimes.
Captain, I was going to name him Cheeto.
Well, any other questions that you wish we would have asked you? Things you wanted to share? Or things you were coming prepared to
No,
talk
if you
about?
watch the snack tier list, you can ask me anything. I think there were probably more things in chat that like I didn't notice or see. But yeah, you can always ask me. You can always slide into my DMs.
We're not getting off.
play a
We're
game.
just going to end the recording for the podcast coming
Yeah.
up here soon. You've done a little bit of shout outs today, all around, but do you have any other shout outs you want to make to viewers who are watching and people who missed the show?
Shout out to all the friends that I saw in chat or like that I feel like will watch this that have come from all different aspects of HOTS. I play HOTS still, I think, because of my friends and because of the people I've met who like have been so great. So I mean, they know who they are. Like, shout out to all those people who, we're friends. And then shout out to my OG Gourds. My also real life friends. They're like my family. So, and Shout out to Stoic. He's my family as well. But I don't know, shout out to everyone watching. I'm happy you joined. If you don't know me that well, then feel free to play with me anytime. Or slide into my DMs. Whatever.
Alrighty.
And as we wrap up, I just want to give another shout out to the CCS Tiny Tourney 2 Maximum Franken Squad. So this is going to be on Saturday, April 24th, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. It's going to be cast by the lovely Jasleen and Bankai. And it's going to be a charity event. So we're raising money to help support Operation Warm Heart, a non-profit organization that receives and distributes charitable donations to airmen and their families, food vouchers, gift cards, especially around the holidays, touch lives directly. And in times of unexpected financial need, like when a family member's apartment complex catches fire or sudden death in the family, Operation Warm Heart provides help with essential expenses or airfare to fly home for the funeral. There will be a donation link posted in the CCS Discord when it is available. And make sure to come check us out on Saturday.
Excellent. It'll be an exciting one. To all of you who've been in chat participating, we're grateful you've been here. Summer's shouted you out. We're going to shout you out again. Thank you for supporting the community chat show. It's so amazing. It's our chance to talk back about the CCS community, how amazing it is, and meet some of the amazing people in it, like Summer. We don't have our next week's guest lined up. I forgot to ask somebody. It's been a busy weekend for all of us, as we know.
First person to reply gets to be the guest from CCS.
Yeah.
Hurry!
We'll announce it tomorrow on the CCS Discord. Who next Sunday's guest will be?
Hydra!
We'll be back here at 10 p.m. Eastern. That's our new time. 10 p.m. Eastern on Sundays. Thank you all for hanging out in chat. We're gonna end our recording